As a so-called man of God, how can you sit there and say sin don't exist? What would you expect the people who are God-fearing, such as yourself, to think about that?
Well, my first question to anybody that would even ask the question would be, can anyone refute what I said? By scripture, not by just going off random conversation, just by scripture. Because for one, as a believer for so many years and listening to so many pastors, I was taught and I condemned people on sin, and I was a menace on how sin would destroy you, and you are developed through righteousness. And I was talking about how I was righteous, and that's how the pastors teach. Though the scripture, when I got more involved in reading the scripture myself, I found out that Jesus died for all sins, and that understanding alone put me in a place where, if he died for all sins, why am I still convicting people over their lack or when they fall short? And then he got me caught up in judgment, so he sliced me down in judgment. But my question would be to a lot of people, and even to you, and now just hold up in certain situations, because in this situation, I want to know, did he die for the just and unjust? This is scriptural facts. See, I got scriptural facts of what he died for. And then I got scriptural facts that blessed is the man whom the Lord does not impute sin. Who God does not put sin into. Who God does not look upon like a sinner. These are scriptural facts. I don't know how to even look at it when the word explains transgressions and sins, and it puts where there is no law. I ask the people the question: are we up under the law or are we up under grace? So if we're up under grace, then anything that was established up under the law is not for us. Man, and then people got to understand, God said it out of his own mouth off in the Old Testament. In chapter 8 of Hebrews, verse 8, chapter 8, verse 12, he said, "For I will be merciful to their unrighteousness and their sins and lawless deeds. I will remember no more." Now, if God don't have a memory of it, how can we even have any kind of concept of even pushing what God don't have a memory of? I ask people, can you refute it by the scripture? That's all.